Good evening. I'm Kayla Smith here with Jenna Jones. Developing now, inside reports of an invasion in Afghanistan, which occurred nearly minutes ago. There have been no previous reports of this invasion, but we are gathering more information as we speak. In other news, a New York City man has been arrested on charges of animal abuse. Apparently, Cordavis White was chased by a ferocious cat. He, quote, defended himself by pulling out his taser and shocking the cat. This incident was caught on a neighbor's video camera outside the suspect's home around 4 p.m. Responding police tried to save the cat by rushing it to a veterinarian hospital, but the cat was pronounced dead upon arrival. The man's trial is set for later this week.
Now back to breaking news. It has been revealed that at least 700 Soviet troops disguised as Afghans invaded the capital city of Kabul in Afghanistan. This invasion began at approximately 5:30 this evening. The motives have not yet been determined. For more details, here's Sydney Brown reporting live from Kabul.
I'm standing here outside Kabul with an Afghan soldier, Saddam Hussein. Saddam, can you describe the atmosphere in Kabul right now?
People running around street, people going crazy. Nobody know what's happening. It's chaos.
Was there any indication that this invasion was going to take place?
No. It's a surprise to everyone.
Is there any idea as to what the purpose of this attack is?
I hear a rumor, but people think they were trying to kill the Prime Minister.
How do you plan to defend your country against this attack?
We try to secure families because we not know when Soviet may attack.
This has been Sydney Brown for KCTW News. Now back to New York for other news.
Well, clearly not all the details about this invasion are known, but you can count on KCTW Channel 3 News to inform you first. Good evening. This is Kayla Smith here with Jenna Jones. Tonight's top story has the international athletic community in uproar. 2 months ago, President Jimmy Carter issued an ultimatum to Soviet leaders, saying if they did not withdraw their troops from Afghanistan by February 20th, the United States would boycott the Summer Olympics this year, which are set to be held in Moscow. Today, in response to inactivity by the Soviets, the boycott was confirmed. Other countries have since announced their own intentions to boycott, including China, Japan, Egypt, and Norway. Here to get a take from the Polish Olympic team, which will be participating in the Games later this year, is Sydney Brown.
Hi, I'm here with Molly Metzger at the Polish Olympic Training Facility to find out her personal view on President Carter's confirmation of this Olympic boycott. Molly, how do you feel about the United States' refusal to participate in these Games?
Well, I think it's really stupid that the United States would butt into where they weren't invited and try to bring down a lot of other countries with them.
How does this affect your attitude going into this year's event?
I'm just going to try and approach it the same way I do any other competition.
Do you think that this boycott will benefit you in any way?
Heck yeah, I'm already one of the best track stars there is. And by eliminating this many countries, there's going to be no competition, and it only makes my chances of winning even better. So I know for sure that this year I'm going to be taking home the gold medal.
Thank you, Molly, for taking time out of your training schedule to voice your opinion about this controversial issue. Now back to you, Jenna.
Thank you, Sydney. To keep up to date on this story and others, tune into our radio station at KCTW 99.7. Good evening. I'm Jenna Jones here with Kayla Smith, covering some recent news occurring around the world today. The police are trying to locate 3 older men suspected to have robbed the Wachovia Bank today, taking with them many hostages. If you have any information about this crime, please call this news station, KCTW, or 669-5289. In other news, the U.S. Senators will discuss the new energy law being debated in the Capitol this week.
But the top headline this evening is the boycott of this year's Summer Olympics, which the Soviet government issued just over 2 weeks ago. Since then, 11 more countries joined the boycott. The boycott was originally started as a Soviet retaliation against the 1980 boycott issued by the United States. The countries boycotting this year include the USSR, East Germany, Mongolia, Vietnam, Laos, Czechoslovakia, and Poland.
In response to why they issued the boycott, the Soviet Union cited security concerns and that, quote, chauvinistic sentiments and anti-Soviet hysteria were being whipped up in the United States. A U.S. official said America was absolutely dumbfounded when the announcement came. By and large, the American media sees the boycott as revenge for the boycott of the 1980 Moscow Games. Now to Marie Polinsky, who is located at the Olympic Training Center in Colorado Springs, Colorado.
Hi, I'm here with Cindy Moyer, youngest basketball player on the U.S. basketball team. Cindy, how is the Soviet boycott affecting this U.S. team?
Honestly, we all feel that the Russians are being very selfish and only boycotting in means of the United States boycott. It's very disappointing.
Is this going to be the focus of this year's Olympics?
Well, I can't speak for the other teams, but the United States is only that much more focused on keeping the gold on home soil.
Thanks, Cindy. Now back to you, Jenna.
It's good to see the focus that these athletes have, even during the fiasco of today's politics.
It sure is. Well, for KCTW, Channel 3 News, good night, New York.
It has been 1 day since the Soviet Union collapsed. The world is still processing what this means for history. While we cannot yet know all the causes of its collapse, we can look back on the events that may have contributed to it.
The Soviets' invasion of Afghanistan was definitely a key factor in the disestablishment of the Soviet Union. The war between the Soviets and Afghans lasted 9 years and 50 days. More than 1,500 Soviets died and about 1 million Afghans died. At first, the Afghans were unstable, but they slowly took out the Soviet troops. Mikhail Gorbachev was largely the leader of this withdrawal. The Soviet troops were officially out of Afghanistan on February 15, 1989.
The long-term effects of the invasion are U.S. grain exports to the Soviet Union stopped, the 1980 and 1984 Summer Olympic boycotts, the degradation of the Soviet image, and it was a major contributor to why the Soviet Union collapsed.
This has been Christina Pledger and Taylor Moyer for 60 Seconds. Thanks for tuning in.
Good morning. Welcome to the Oprah Winfrey Show. Lately, everyone knows a huge controversy occurred between the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan and President Jimmy Carter's decision to boycott the 1980 Summer Olympics held in Moscow. So, today, I have here with me a very special guest, which I am so very honored to talk to on my show. Ladies and gentlemen, let me present to you President Jimmy Carter.
Hello, Oprah Winfrey. Thank you very much for inviting me to be on your show today and help clear the confusion around the world.
Oh, you're welcome, Jimmy. Now, what was your main purpose for issuing this boycott?
Well, you see, the Russians were being very selfish when they invaded Afghanistan. They were trying to take over and control the Afghans, yet they still wanted to maintain a friendly relationship with them. It just doesn't work that way. I could not consider myself right for my job if I did not speak up on the rest of the world's behalf and attempt to get the Soviets to stop this nonsense. Afghanistan is a major contributor of petroleum to the rest of the world. So, the White House came up with the idea of boycotting the Olympics. in hope of the Soviets removing their troops from Afghanistan.
How did this boycott turn out? Did you expect for it to end this way?
Actually, no, I did not. I believe that by issuing this boycott with 60 other nations, such as China, Japan, West Germany, Haiti, Argentina, and the like, the Soviet Union would realize the huge mistake they made, but they did not.
If you could go back over all of this, would you still go through with the boycott?
Absolutely. Yes, it may not have turned out the way we all expected it to, but it did catch the attention of the Soviet Union and make them actually think about what they did. Many athletes trained very hard for the Olympics, and just because the Soviets refused to move their troops, athletes all around the world had to suffer.
Now, you say athletes had to suffer because of this? How do you feel about knowing how hard the U.S. athletes worked over so many years to be unable to compete in the Olympics this year?
Well now, of course I feel terrible for the dreams these athletes have worked all their lives for, and I salute them in their cooperation, as well as that of the 60 other nations that also boycotted. Luckily, I think that the athletes understood my decision, even if they did not fully support it. They saw my motives and knew that something had to be done.
What kind of impact has the Afghanistan invasion had on the United States' relationship with the Soviet Union? How does this affect them in the long run?
Well, Oprah, there are many ways. The United States has stopped exporting grain to Russia, and of course, there's the boycotts. Islamic militant groups have also been strengthened. There was also a degradation in the image of the Soviets, as well as pressure put on their economy. But the biggest impact and long-term effect is the collapse of the Soviet Union.
Well, that's all the questions we have for today. I really appreciate you coming on my show, President Carter.
No, thank you, Miss Winfrey. I am very glad I was able to answer your questions.
Good morning, I'm Nicole Very with breaking news. Today, Soviet spies leaked our top secret results from the Manhattan Project, where the United States tested its first atomic bomb in Los Alamos. This scandal has put us in a nuclear arms race with the Soviets. Any information of the identity of the spies, please call 1-800-245-0009.
This is Alina Ivanov with important news. It is known that the United States is building nuclear weapons and expects to leave us in the dust. It is very important that everyone does their part to help our country. If you know of anyone who is at all smart, you need to turn them over to the hands of the government immediately. There will be an award for each person who helps us build ideas in the field of nuclear arms. Do your part. That is all. I am Alina Ivanov with your afternoon news.
Hello, Nicole here updating you with the nuclear arms race. As you know, on August 6th, the United States launched its first atomic bomb, Batman, on Hiroshima, Japan. Today we launched another atomic bomb called Little Boy on Nagasaki. This second bomb has caused Japan to throw up the white flag and leave the war. Stay here for more. Today, the world's first hydrogen bomb has been tested on a remote Pacific Ocean atoll. The nuclear fission device is 500 times more powerful than the atomic bombs we launched on Japan. That's all for today. Goodbye.
This is Tatiana Ivan with your daily news. Almost a year after our leader Joseph Stalin passed away, the famous physicists Andrei Sakharov and Ivan Tam have received the Hero of Socialist Labor and Stalin Prize for their work on the layer cake. This layer cake, as it was called, was a thermonuclear weapon which utilizes a scheme in which fission fuel was layered. It was 30 times as powerful than the dreadful Fat Man that was dropped on Hiroshima. These men have helped us in a nuclear race with the United States and should be honored and recognized. Stay tuned to Channel 4 for more on the story. At 9:33 this morning, one of our Tu-4 bombers has dropped a 40-kiloton atomic bomb on 45,000 of our military troops in Tatskoye testing range. This was conducted to test the troops under exposure to radiation and explosions. The research gathered here will help scientists improve military performance in a mock battle. We have a clip from the actual experience with us now.
Hello, citizens. As you have heard of the rumors about the world's first nuclear-powered submarine, today we are told that the USS Natalia was launched at the base of Groton, Connecticut. Engineers have been working on this ship since July of 1951. What an amazing step forward this is for the United States.
Today we have finally launched the artificial satellites our scientists have been working on for so long now. This shows up the United States. They suck anyway. This is just a stepping stone to us being able to launch nuclear warheads anywhere in the world if need be. This satellite we have launched is called the Sputnik. It is about 22.8 inches in diameter and weighs about 183.9 pounds. Along with this nuclear race we are in with the Americans, we have started this space race today. Do not fear, fellow citizens. We will win them both and show the U.S. who is better once and for all.
In 1957, the United States developed the Atlas missile that can travel 6,000 miles and land within a mile of its target. The problem with the Atlas missile is that it takes over an hour to prepare for firing. This would weaken its effectiveness in a nuclear war. Today, February 1st, the United States overcame this problem by developing the Minuteman missile. This missile stores its fuel in its own engines and makes it possible to fire a missile in 30 seconds. Also, these missiles are fairly small, with 54 feet long and 10 feet in diameter measurements, and can be stored in storage towers underground protected from an enemy attack.
Saddam, can you describe the atmosphere in Kabul right now? Start over. Hi, I'm standing here outside Kabul with an Afghan soldier, Saddam Hussein. Saddam, was there... Whitney started laughing.
It leaves pretty nice welt.
I'm not going to.
She's lying.
There's nothing in my boat.
I know.
Won't let me. No, stop! You're really gonna try to shoot me? Yeah, just like in the garage.
This is not the script.
You sound like you're retarded!
Keep going, I'm not stopping it.
Okay, ready?
It doesn't work.
The questions we have for today, I really appreciate you coming on my show, Jimmy. I really do.
Just do that one more time. We got this.
A question.
We can't screw this up now.
Go.
That's all the questions we have for today. I really appreciate.
Wait, can I just say something really quick? Is expected a word?
Keep going, start from many. Keep going, start from many athletes.
Ready?
Yeah.